Good afternoon, lovelies. Today I am going to be harvesting some dry beans in this video. This is my first attempt at trying the dry beans. I've never done it before. This harvest actually came out very well. Now I'm wishing that I had planted more of it, but I didn't plant that much because, one, I didn't know how it was going to grow. I didn't know if I would like the bean or how it growed, or if my family would even like it. So I just planted a few plants this year, but because I do like the way the bean looks and the way that it grew and the way that it dried, I will definitely be planting more of these next year. Probably double, if not triple, the amount. So these are dry beans, more similar to pinto beans once they're dry. These are called the tiger's eye dry beans, and they're supposed to have a little bit of a more nuttier flavor. But these you can store in your pantry once they're completely dry. And then just, like I said, cook them and prepare them like you normally would pinto beans. As I'm, opening these up, they're pretty easy to open. Once you crack the pods and split the bean, and the seeds just come right out. So the drying process, once the bean grows on the plant, you don't pick it. It grows on green, of course, but then over time the pod kind of like yellows and it dries out, with the help of the sun and time. And you could very well possibly leave these on the plant until the end of the growing season, until your first frost, and then harvest the beans, and then split the pods and take the beans out. But all of my beans, with the exception of a few, were already yellow, and they were pretty dry to the point to when I picked one and shook it, you could hear the beans rattling inside. Once you hear the beans rattling on the inside, you know that they're pretty dry, and you can go ahead and harvest them. But once you harvest them, you just kind of want to make sure that they stay dry. You don't want to wet them in any type of way, and then store them. Mine right now, currently, because I don't have a lot, I'm just going to store these in a glass jar, and I'm just going to leave the lid off, so there's no chance of condensation or any type of built up moisture or anything like that, and my beans will stay dry. But next year, if and when I plant more, I would definitely suggest investing in some of those the Mylar bags, and storing them in there. That way they store better, they stay dry, and they're fresher. Again, these beans, they harvested well, they came off of the plant well, and I had absolutely no problem getting the beans out. love this process. Just, reminds me of, earlier, simpler times, as a kid, just sitting with my grandmother's, just, on the porch and catching a breeze and picking the beans or snapping the beans or, silking the corn, shucking the corn rather, and just, talking and laughing and having conversations. And, I miss those times. You never really know or understand, how important it is as a kid. But, as you get older and, you get some time and experience on you, you miss those times. So at this point in the video, if you haven't already, and if you don't mind, if you could scroll up and hit that like button, it definitely helps the channel out a lot. It helps us grow here at Tilly's Lovelies. And don't forget to share and subscribe as well. So this amount of beans, while it's not a lot, this would I'll probably be making a crock pot full of soup, and it'll be a new soup because this is the first time that I've tried this bean. But the bean itself, like I said, is supposed to be, close to pinto beans, but it has a nuttier flavor to it. So, so I'll probably make a nice pot of fall soup with these beans. While I've seen a lot of videos in that on YouTube about beans and green beans, different variety of beans in that, I didn't really see a whole lot of videos on the dry bean process. So definitely we'll be doing a video next season from the seedling to transplanting to the growing to the drying and the harvesting, to give everyone more information on this process. But I tell you, it's so easy. Once you have these beans, if you make it a practice, just to kind of, make sure that you grow some dry beans every year in your garden, and then just, make sure that you, preserve them and, and store them in your pantries. Dry beans on the shelf will last you years and years to come. So I definitely recommend it, for those, winter months where, there's winter storms or, anything like that, to where you can't necessarily go out or get to the market, or you've gotten to the market, a little bit later than everyone else, and everything's already gone off the shelves and shelves are empty. You can't go wrong with soups and stews, and especially when you're cooking for your family. It's a great thing to just be able to go down to your pantry and take things like this off your shelf, and where it came from. You grew it with your own two hands, and you know the process and what it went through, and you packaged and you preserved it yourself. And if you have small kids, this is, definitely an activity where, small kids absolutely love to do things like this. It's fun for them. It's an activity for them. And, studies show that if you get small kids, active in the process of harvesting and, helping to process the things out of your garden, then they're more than likely to eat healthier and then grow their own food as well. Now here in this part of the video, there are two beans that are definitely, as you can see, lighter than the rest of the beans. And that just means that they haven't completely dried out. Once they completely dry out, you definitely, want to give them that opportunity to do that before you store them. And then they'll turn into the darker color. Now, if they don't, my recommendation is to just go ahead and toss that bean. Have any of you ever dried beans in your garden? Have you ever gone through any of the dry bean methods or anything like that? If so, drop a comment down in the comment section and let us know what your process is and what your experience was. And so as we're coming to a close here, I did notice in this batch of the dry beans, there was one bean that I knew right away there was an issue with. So the bean came out of the pod and it had a coating on it. And you'll see me in the video and you'll see me try to kind of scratch the bean to see if it'll come off easily, but it didn't. The bean it has more like a whitish coating on it, and I'm not sure what that was. If anyone knows what that was, or what it could be, or what it means, then I'd appreciate, if you could leave that information in the comments. But it did not come off. This is the bean here. And so, again, my recommendation is just to toss that bean. You never want to take the chance of, putting anything in your harvest or in your pot to feed your family that may or may not be good, or something may be wrong with it. It's better to just go ahead and to toss it, and don't put it in with your soups or your stews. So I hope this video has helped everyone to kind of just get an idea of what this process is of drying beans and harvesting them. But I definitely hope that you try them in your garden. Maybe next season for 2026. Years after that. Again, it's an easy plant. It's an easy harvest, and it's definitely easy to process, and it adds more food to for you to store in your cupboards. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this video here at Tilly's Lovelies. We definitely appreciate you. We hope that you enjoyed this video. And again, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. We hope that your gardens are going well and growing well into the fall season. And we will see you on the next video. Bye.